I'm delighted to inform you that you are all losers. Now, this may come as a surprise to you, but I assure you, no matter how successful you think you are, this statement stands true. Webster's dictionary defines loser as a person who is incompetent or unable to succeed, or something that is doomed to fail or disappoint. Let me ask you this. Who decided that losses are of equal or even more value than successes? Because of its negative connotation, you may possess a false conception of what losing means. Thus, I hope to persuade you to redefine this derogatory term and realize that loser is a label to be worn proudly. In order to understand the significance of losing, you must first understand three aspects of the concept: the process, who's keeping score, and the need to lose. Now, although the process of losing is brief, its impact extends much farther than most people realize. Of course, a loss begins with a failed pursuit, but your response that follows that failure is what takes losing from an episodic occurrence to a process. President Heber J. Grant once related a story in which he demonstrated this short but significant process of losing. As a child, President Grant dreamed of playing on the local Little League baseball team. But unfortunately, after his first attempt at the sport, he was laughed at by his peers for throwing like a girl. Now, immediately his peers had labeled him as a loser. But in that moment of decision, President Grant decided to practice daily and improve his throwing ability. And by the next year, President Grant had made the baseball team and went on to win the Utah Territorial Championship. Now, in the moment, President Grant was a loser, but following his initial loss, he responded by taking the time to endure rather than quit, and in turn, transformed his loss into a success. Former Green Bay Packers coach Vince Lombardi once stated, "If winning isn't everything, then why do they keep score?" Well, my response to Mr. Lombardi: who's keeping score? All too often, people get caught up with competition. Too many people let competition overrun their lives, thinking they need to keep up with the Joneses. But in reality, the only person you should be in competition with is yourself. Daniel Walquist is a senior at Weber High School who demonstrates this concept to a T. He has been involved in school musicals, ran track, helped the football team as team manager, and last year was voted by the student body to be junior prom king. But what sets Daniel apart from other students of this caliber? Daniel is diagnosed with Down syndrome. Because of his handicap, Daniel comes in last at the track meets. He is unable to sing on key, and he will never play in a high school football game. But what makes Daniel one of the most loved members of Weber High's large student body is that he doesn't care. All he cares about is doing his best. And consequently, Daniel Walquist is more successful and involved than a majority of the students at his school. In my own life, I have been through the process of losing. But losing has been beneficial to me because it has allowed me to progress farther than I ever would have if I had always won. My most fortunate loss occurred in the spring of 2010 when I lost a student government election for the first time in 5 years. I'd won every election since I ran for a position in 7th grade. I was devastated. But I decided not to let my loss deter me. I realized that my loss wasn't a roadblock, but rather a new course, one I would never have chosen for myself. But following the election, I became involved in myriad activities I had never considered before. By losing, I responded appropriately and found a variety of new ways to succeed. Dennis Waitley once remarked, "Losers live in the past. Winners learn from the past and enjoy working in the present toward the future." But I believe that Waitley is in denial. Winners are losers who have learned from past failures and enjoy working in the present toward the future. If you always win, you'll never grow. So now that you understand the process, who your competition is, and the need to lose, hopefully I persuaded you to reconsider your definition of losing. So the next time you experience a loss, don't feel down. Rather, see losing as an opportunity for growth. And remember, you are and always will be a loser. Thank you.